Hi. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at how we can import our grades directly from a Google Forms quiz into our Classroom gradebook. Now, it's worth bearing in mind that when you finish marking a form or a quiz, when you go to the individual pupils, you can go up to this wee bit here that says release score, and you can release that score to the pupil. And that means that it will go from currently where if the pupil was to go into Classroom and click on the quiz and look at it, it wouldn't show them anything to do with their grading. If you click release score, that will mean the pupil can then go in and they can actually see their score. But that's not quite the same as us actually importing it into our Classroom gradebook so that we have a record of the mark in the assignment. So as long as you have finished marking all of your pupils' work, or at least those pupils who have submitted the work and that you want to return, in our Classroom, we very simply need to go up to this wee button here that says import marks. And that in turn will only be visible if when we created the assignment itself, we'd ensured that allow grade importing was ticked, which we can see down at the bottom here. So grade importing is on. So as long as that's the case, any graded quizzes in our Classroom can be directly imported. Now, if I was to go to that individual pupil's work, I could click on their form and it will open their copy of the form up as a kind of an overview for me to just review, which is really useful for kind of looking over with them. And obviously we could just take that score and we could copy it into there. But as I say, it's much quicker and easier if we have, in this case, um, we've only got one pupil's work submitted, but normally this would be for the whole class. It works exactly the same. We just click import marks and that will bring any scores for any of the completed forms over, even if a pupil hasn't actually handed the work in. So if a pupil has completed the form or the quiz, but they forgot to actually mark the assignment as done, it will still show up down here on your list. And it will stay as a draft, so we would actually need to return that to the pupil before it went back to them. So if we just tick the pupil there and return, you'll see that that now shows up as their grade, and the pupil will move to the wee category at the bottom for marked work, and it will show up as their grade there. Now, if we were to go into their work and let's just say we were to change the grade for one of their marks, so actually that turned out to be incorrect, we realized we'd made a mistake. If we save that and update it, if we go to import marks, you will actually see that when it imports this time, it will actually suggest a revision, and it will change that to a draft of 6 out of 14 because we've removed marks there. And until we change that by, or until we accept by returning to the pupil, it will still show up as a draft and they'll still think they've got 10 marks. But again, when we return, that will update and it shows us here previously 10 out of 14 and it will now be 6 out of 14. So that's basically how we can use the grade importing to quickly get all of our marks out of a quiz and into an assignment and return to our pupils in the most efficient way possible.